Yo, I'm back, and let me show you something that I discovered this morning through some of the research posted in the Academy Lab. It's really interesting. You're definitely going to learn a lot from this, and let's get right into it. So this store right here is doing about $1.5 million per month on Shopify. 1.5 big M's, okay? And what's really interesting is some of the strategies that they're utilizing in order to get to this level. So obviously, I know a lot of you guys are not even close to this level, right? And that's fine. There's still a lot of really important things that we can take away from this that you can apply to your business, even if you're just getting started. So the first thing being, so we're going to start right away. The first thing that we can learn is the bundling that they're doing. So they sell a very, very cheap product. It's $11. So the brand is called Water Drop, and they sell these hydration packs basically. And what's really interesting is that this is an $11 product, which everybody in e-commerce and drop shipping and direct-to-consumer DTC spaces will tell you this is too cheap. You cannot sell a product that's $11 with paid media. It's just not possible. That's what they'll tell you. But it's absolutely possible, especially if you do exactly what they're doing, which is bundling things together. So instead of just offering this one product, so this is basically a one product store. What they've done is they've created new SKUs of the same product just by bundling things together. So for example, here they have the $11 one, but if you buy here the 2-pack, you can get it for $18.90. So that's a great deal, right? You're saving 14% on it, and they're increasing their average order value by doing that as well. Their landing page design, absolutely beautiful. This is the second thing that we can take away from this. They have some great product photography, but I will say this product photography is achievable through Fiverr for maybe $200. So once you're actually building up your brand, once you actually find some success with some products or a product, don't be afraid to invest in some better photography, because that's actually going to move the needle a lot more than a lot of other things you may do to your landing page. A lot of people will spend $10,000 on a landing page when they've barely made any profit on their product. That is not a good idea. It's much better to spend that money on better product images. I guarantee you it will make your conversion rate higher than just by doing a whole bunch of, CRO tactics. CRO stands for conversion rate optimization. So that's another really great tip, is keep your landing pages very simple, but improve your product images if you can. If you're going to make any improvements on your landing page, make sure that's the first one you do, because that one will move the needle a lot more. It's this 80-20 concept that I really love, which is that 80% of results come from 20% of the work. So 80% of the work that you usually do usually doesn't actually lead to any results, but 20%, if you can identify that 20%, you can make massive improvements in your business and compound really quickly. This is kind of what I live my life by. So that's one thing. Now, just to let you know, obviously, this is the stuff that gets posted in the Academy Lab Research Center, and that's how I found this. I literally this morning, I was doing some research through the community. It kind of streamlines my research that I would regularly do every day. And this research is applicable if you're an e-commerce entrepreneur, if you're an agency owner, if you're working at a company and you want to impress your bosses by giving them all this knowledge that you're learning. That's what this is for, right? It's kind of like the Harvard research, the business research that they post, but obviously not $100,000 a year. It's literally $50 a month, and we got our first review. So super happy about that. Make sure you check that out in the description if it sounds interesting. But we confirmed that they're doing about $1.5 million a month through Shop Hunter. You don't need to get Shop Hunter because we post that in the community. We use it ourselves and post the research for you. But super interesting, right? So the other thing that's really interesting here that we can learn from is, besides the product bundling of the same product, is finding complementary products. So complementary products are a great way to launch new things that are almost guaranteed to work. So it's very non-risky, right? It's very low risk. That's a better word, to launch complementary products. In this case, right, they sell these water drops that you literally just put in your water. So guess what a good complementary product for that would be? A water bottle, right? A water bottle that actually allows you to use the product. Obviously, everybody has a water bottle these days, but you may as well shop their water bottle because they're the ones selling you this innovative water drop product. And as you see, they've actually designed a pretty clean water bottle. So they're keeping their aesthetic very much in check when designing these new products. So that is another lesson here. So this is lesson number 3, I believe. Make sure that you keep your brand identity congruent. That is going to make a huge difference in the long term. A lot of people don't think about this, right? But this is something that we do cover here in the Academy Lab. I'm not trying to shill this, by the way. I'm just making an example out of this by showing you some design trends, because I'm telling you, branding is extremely important and a lot of people don't take it into consideration. But really, we saw in our last video, right? If you saw that video where we talked about Temu and their rise, that's how you're going to get a competitive edge over the big giants like Amazon and Temu, is by actually designing your own brand identity and making a recognizable brand, even if it's just through a simple product. So that is a great lesson here to learn. That's another great one. Now, here's another thing: free gift for orders above $40. That is a great incentive for people to shop. And we saw Alex Ramosi do this with his new book drop. He made it so that if you buy 3 books, which is literally just the same book, right? If you buy 3 of them, you get a free hat. And that worked significantly well. I mean, he did over $3 million in like an hour. So that just goes to show how much free gifts incentivize people to convert. So again, these are things that you can test to increase your conversion rate that are not going to cost you $10,000 for a CRO team. I'm not saying that's not a good idea if you're scaling up your business, if you're, making significant profits. But what I'm saying is that it's not the biggest thing that you should be focusing on right now. And if you do want to improve your conversion rate, it's better to do these little changes instead of, spending thousands of dollars on a new website. It's better to try, for example, a free gift on orders above $40 so that people actually spend more money on your store. Or, as I mentioned before, better product images. That may make a much bigger difference than you think. Now, let's move on to the next lessons, because that was the 4th lesson, I believe. We're trying to get 5 lessons here, at least, in every video and every yapping session that we do here. That's a funny thing I saw on TikTok, people just yapping about random stuff. It's kind of how I approach my channel, but we're yapping about valuable stuff, at least valuable to us, or maybe just to me. Doesn't matter. But this is the next lesson that I want to share with you from this brand that I find super interesting. Obviously, they're running a lot of Meta ads. That is no surprise. Meta is one of the most powerful advertising platforms on the planet. It is the most powerful, in my opinion. And they're running a lot of different ads. But here's the thing. They're not just running ads for this store. They're also running ads in different regions and creating their own page specifically for that region. So they're taking this approach of tackling untapped markets in a genius way, right? They're not just targeting everybody, every country through their one store. They're actually building separate stores going after these untapped markets, such as Poland, for example, Germany, France, Slovakia. Like, they're literally getting so deep in the trenches of these untapped markets. And I guarantee you it's making a significant difference in their overall profitability, because some of these countries, even though you can't scale very large, you can make a lot of profit in a short amount of time. You will exhaust the audience quite quickly, since a lot of these countries have like 1/10 of the population of the US and 1/10 of the purchase intent. But the thing is, they've never seen products like this before. It's not available to them necessarily. So they are likely to convert, and the traffic is much cheaper. The competition is basically non-existent. And that is how Meta ads work. It's an auction system. Whoever can pay the most to acquire a customer is going to win that customer. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that affect that, so don't let that scare you from running Meta ads. For example, if you have a great ad, that's going to make a massive difference. It's going to make you more competitive in the auction system. But that's the 5th lesson that I want to share with you here that I thought was quite interesting. If you're selling in the US, make sure you don't neglect other countries, and you don't have to do that by using the same store. You can literally just create a new store targeting another country specifically, a new store, a new page, a new pixel, everything new, but only targeting that specific country. Great idea. These guys are doing it, and these guys are in the 8-figure level, probably at a 9-figure valuation by now. And trust me, we work with $1 million a month brands, and this is not so different to what they do. In fact, what we do with them is even simpler, and it works, and it gets higher returns on ad spend than what I see in the majority of the direct-to-consumer space. So don't think that this sort of information is useless or whatever. This is actually super valuable, and you'll see it come to play once you actually launch your business. So if you haven't launched your business, make sure you do that first and foremost. Use that link in the description. Start your Shopify store. I mention it every day because literally Shopify has an incredible deal, and we don't know how long it's going to last. They could literally end it tomorrow. And Shopify is $39 a month now. So that's kind of expensive. If you can start for $1 a month for 3 months, that's what that deal gets you, then you're golden. So hopefully this motivated you to start your business. And yeah, we'll do some streams this week. Make sure you tune in, get that notification bell turned on, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.